and we are here to talk about Champions League quarter-final night 2. We had a fantastic, unbelievable night of football last night. The matches were brilliant. We talked about them earlier today, and tonight we have round 2. Do we think night number 2 of the Champions League quarter-finals are going to be as good as night 1? I bloody hope so, because last night was fantastic. Personally, looking at the matchups, I don't think they're going to be as good. However, maybe they will surprise us. The lineups are out. I'm going to pull them up now in a wee minute. I've already seen Slot might be going slightly defensive in this match. But we'll take a look at those now in a sec. Please do remember to smash the like button on your way into the tea party, people. Then get your vote in on the poll. Do Liverpool have any chance against PSG? So far, 17% of you are saying yes for sure. So you're feeling positive. 67% have said yes, a small chance. So you're not writing them off completely. Maybe. And 17% of you, so we've 17 for yes for sure and 17 for no way Jose. But the big massive majority is saying yes, they have a small chance. So not written off completely, but not looking too hot either. And Rob is in the house. Rob Always United, also known as the Tea Titan. Yes, he is also reminding all the lovely people to smash a like on their way in. Lovely Shem is in the house with us saying, hello, lovely boss lady Lou. Hope you're good and the weather's a bit better. Do you know what it is? It's not really raining, but it's like really overcast and warm and humid. It's yucky. It's so yucky. He also says hello to Mr. Titan. Paige is in the house with us. Welcome to Paige. Lovely Lucky is here with us. Streets is in the house. Guess is here. She's here, but she might fall asleep. Guess had an early start this morning. She says PSG can crumble, but she doubts it. So that would give a small chance to Liverpool. Streets, the weather with Streets has been elite. He's making me jealous. Lucky is going to Spain. I'm going to watch this. Oh, you're going to watch the Spain tie. Atletico Madrid, Barcelona. And you hope Rashford scores again. I'll tell you, since Rashford has gone to Barcelona, I have not watched him at all. I haven't seen any of his matches. Obviously, I've seen the footage of some of his goals. I've seen some of the highlights, etc. But I haven't actually watched him play. So, I don't know. Let's look at the lineups. Is he starting tonight? Let me see. Is he there? He is starting in the confirmed lineups for Barcelona. So I'll be watching both matches. This will be my first time actually watching Marcus Rashford since he's been at Barcelona. So after this one single match, I will be making my determination as to whether they should pay us lots of money or not. I feel like I'm going to say yes, they should pay us lots of money regardless. But this will actually be my first time watching him play for Barcelona, so I'm actually very interested to see him over the 90 minutes or however long it is that he stays on the pitch. Lucky watches La Liga and says it's very competitive football. Streets is being mean to me on purpose. This ridiculous carry on. What kind of a cult do you think this is? And the very lovely Mama Flossie is in the house saying good evening teacups. Paige is saying football can be a funny game. Pool can all of a sudden show up. So let me see. Let me get the lineups for the PSG Liverpool game. That's the one we want to look at first. Can I look at this? Where's full page view? Yes, that's the one we want to see. Thank you very much, my dear. So, I don't know how to make this go away. Where's the zoom? Zoom. That's not the zoom. Lineups. Oh, lads. Right, we're just gonna have to do it like this because genuinely technology hates me. Technology is not my friend, guys. It's so mean. Can I even read it if it's like that? Okay, I'm gonna lean in close to the screen. We're gonna get up close and personal, guys, while I read out the lineups because these are not for show. Do you remember that period everyone went through where glasses were like a fashion accessory? They were really cool. I'm not really cool, I'm just really blind. I need these to see, and this writing is tiny. So I'm going to share the screen and then we're going to read through it together. So as you can see in this teeny tiny part of the screen are the lineups for the PSG Liverpool match. So the Liverpool lineup is in goal, crazy, not their first goalkeeper, Mamardashvili. Then you have Kirkes, Van Dijk, Konate, Gomez, McAllister, Gravenberch, Wirtz, Szoboszlai, Frimpong and Ekitike. So Szoboszlai is playing way further up the pitch than he has been for a lot of the season. We have the calamity that was Konate and Van Dijk back on the pitch together, and Wirtz, who has been fighting back against Van Dijk's comments on the pitch. Yes, according to this, and to be fair, this is SofaScore, so it might not be right, because sometimes they get the United ones very wrong. So this is where they think they're going to be, but it is the confirmed lineup, so they're getting it from somewhere. And then I'm not going to pretend I know all the PSG players. So they have Safanov in goal, Mendes, Pacho, Marquinhos, Hakimi, Neves, Vitinha, Zaire Emery, Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, Doué. Actually, okay, the only one I don't know is their goalkeeper. I know all the rest of them. I lied, I do know them. I think that Liverpool's going to get absolutely mullered. I'm in the no way Jose camp, and I've been trying to be quite fair because we have some lovely Liverpool fans. Sorry guys, I'm just way off to the side of the screen, so let me centre myself. Let me get centred for the stream. And don't worry guys, I know I normally waffle on, but I absolutely promise the stream will 100% be done by 7:45 because we need time to get set up. I need time to get my 2 screens on, a cup of tea, some snacks, and time to prepare my ribs for the laughter as Liverpool get demolished by PSG. I do apologise because we do have some lovely Liverpool fans that come in here. Obviously Moonshine is a Liverpool fan, the very lovely Jenny is a Liverpool fan, Winnie, who hasn't been with us for a little bit, but he's a Liverpool fan, so I'm trying really hard not to be too mean, but I think they're already on the Liverpool stream, so they won't know I said it. I think Liverpool are going to get mullered. I think Slot thinks Liverpool are going to get mullered with that lineup. There are so many defensive players. Huge T-Titan number 1 is in the house. We now have both of the T-Titans in the house. Welcome guys. Please do like the video on your way in. It tells the other people who might enjoy the teacup party this is the best Mad Hatter teacup party on the YouTube. So do smash that like and get your votes in on the poll. I'm watching the percentages fluctuate as the stream goes on. What do you guys reckon to this lineup? Do you agree with me it's very defensive? Do you agree with me now that you've seen the lineup that Liverpool are in trouble? Or do you still think, yes, they do have a small chance? Streets is telling us to wait. What are we waiting on? Tell us. We're waiting on tenterhooks. Tell us the information. Give us the tea, Streets. Get it out of your system. But yeah, I think this is going to be a very enjoyable match for all of the non-Liverpool fans. That's how I feel. And the thing is, I have gradually over time changed my mind. Because when these fixtures first came out, I said PSG weren't very good. They didn't give a great account of themselves in the last round. Liverpool might surprise people. Kind of what Paige said, football is a funny game. Maybe. And then we saw a little bit more, and I said, okay, no, I don't see it. Even if PSG aren't like full throttle, I don't see it. Now, sitting here on the night just before the match, actually looking at the lineups, I genuinely think Liverpool have no chance. I am on the no way Jose highway. I think they're going to get mullered. For me, it's now a matter of how many goals. It's not who's going to win, it's by how many goals. Harold is in the house. Lovely Harold, who is an official teacup now, let's not forget. Harold has also become an official teacup. There are so many teacups in our house, I love it. Luke, lovely Luke is also here. I love all the L names. Lovely Luke, lovely Lucky, lovely Lou, you know. All the L names, they just roll off the tongue, don't they? But yous are all lovely, but everybody needs to change their name to something that starts with L, so I can just say lovely everybody. I'm not trying to pick on people. Sometimes they just roll off the tongue. But yes, Streets, Liverpool really have 2 right backs on the pitch. Greg is back with us. Welcome back to Greg. So you have made a return visit. We didn't scare you at the first tea party. You have rejoined us for more tea. Love it, and welcome back to Greg. Streets is saying Arnie 10 slot. I tell you what, managers from that part of the world just have a certain way about them. Harold is saying, I don't care, they've no chance. None whatsoever, they're in the bin. Streets is saying, slot self-sabotage, triple S. Slot self-sabotage, it's starting to feel that way. Paige said, Arnie knows he is on his way out. I mean, I would be worried about him if he didn't. If he hadn't figured out by now he is going at the end of this season, I would be incredibly worried about him and whatever marbles he had left. Surely he is very aware his job is on the line, and no matter what happens at the end of this season, he's done. Because he's definitely not going to win the Champions League, and I don't think getting back into the Champions League spots for next season is going to be enough. I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. I don't think it's happening. Paige is saying, apparently Ajax's technical director Jordi Cruyff is a big Arnie fan, so they will probably end up with Arnie. Oh dear, that would mean they have had Erik ten Hag and Arnie Slot. Poor Ajax. Harold says it makes sense what he's doing, just look at how they've been playing lately. Yes, they've been absolutely terrible, and I understand why he might feel the need to be extra defensive to try and combat all of the bad things that have been happening. But sometimes, and I maybe it's just a personal preference, but for me, if you're constantly defending, if you just set up to defend, if your only aim is defend and hit on the break, then I think essentially you're inviting pressure. And I think to invite pressure from a team like PSG, with the talent of PSG, I think is crazy. I understand the thinking, however, I think it's entirely wrong, and I think you might as well go out on your sword. If you're going to lose, does it really, across 2 legs, people might say it does matter by how many. I don't think it does. I think they're the underdogs. I think they're highly unlikely to win. I think he's getting sacked at the end of the season. Why not just go out on your sword? I'm not saying go mental and completely open up, but basically every player he's playing is a defensive player. They're basically all defenders except for Ekitike. That is a lot of defending. Oh, I didn't know that, Paige. So interesting. Very, very interesting. Noted, Paige. Streets is saying, to be fair, slot style is suited to the Eredivisie and only the Eredivisie. Total football is what he wants, but at the highest level, it's kind of vulnerable playing that way. And Lucky is saying Girona beat Villarreal. But guys, any other thoughts on the lineup? Because, fair, you just saying, well, he hasn't got a sword to fall on, Lou. He has no effective system. That's true. You can't fall on your sword if you don't have a sword to begin with. I mean, that's an excellent point from you. Boffman is in the house. Evening to the best chat on YouTube, and with the technical support gremlin stickers. There are gremlins in the system, but it's okay. The technical support is on hand. guys, what I want to talk about, just going into this match, we talked in the last few days about togetherness, about team spirit, about all sorts of different things, about how teams work together. We talked earlier, I'm sure it was earlier, about Real Madrid feeling like a lot of individuals, Bayern Munich performing as a team, and how that sort of can impact how you perform on the pitch, how you're interacting off the pitch, if you get what I mean. So, after Liverpool's last match, Van Dijk basically came out and he more or less said, let me see if I can actually get the exact quote, because that'll save me having to pluck it out of thin air. So he said, to come back from 3-0 is obviously very difficult, but also you shouldn't give up, and that's maybe at a certain point what happened, which I think is a bit rich coming from him. He was one of the worst players on the pitch. He was the one who gave away the penalty. Like, he was the problem. So, one of the problems, but a big part of the problem. So, for him to say, oh, well, they gave up, I thought it was a bit cheeky, if I'm honest with you. But I'm not the only one who thought it was cheeky. Because it was Wirtz, wasn't it? Yes, Wirtz has come out since in the press conference. Now, this is literally just a few seconds of a clip, but I'm going to play his response to that comment by Van Dijk. So this is what Wirtz had to say in response to the fact that Van Dijk basically insinuated that Liverpool and some of the players had given up. So this was Wirtz's response to that. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it.
I would not agree directly because, we still try to create chances to turn the game around. I would not agree directly because...
So, it's not getting too wild, don't worry, I'm not spilling loads and loads of tea, but basically Van Dijk came out and said, well, we all sort of gave up and gave in, and I think that's what happened. And Wirtz is like, speak for yourself, man, I didn't give up. What are you talking about? So that does bring a bit of an interesting dynamic, because I imagine that's rubbed people up the wrong way. More than Wirtz. Wirtz was asked about it, obviously, which is why he answered it. But that's going to rub your teammates up the wrong way. Even if you think it's true, even if that's what he thinks, it's not going to help the dressing room to come out and publicly say something like that. Also, like I said, I think it's a bit cheeky that he was the one to say it, when actually he was one of the biggest problems they had. He was one of the people that caused the problems. So I just think it was a wee bit cheeky, like you're going to give out about people giving up when you were one of the biggest problem on the pitch. Huge is saying maybe he meant he gave up defensively. I mean, he did. He gave up a penalty. Andrew is saying Virgil van Dijk was honest, everyone could see. Well, I don't think you can say everyone, because I don't agree. I don't agree that everyone gave up. I think some of them gave up. I think some of them weren't trying. I think some of them underperformed. But I definitely wouldn't say everyone. Dominic Szoboszlai said it too. I mean, but again, he didn't have a very good match, and he was having a go at the fans. Szoboszlai's out there having a go at the fans. So I'm not surprised he's having a go at his teammates. I think when you get into these situations, these difficult situations, these challenges, I think it shows you how together or separate your team is. I think it shows you how you face adversity, how you come together or don't, as the case may be, actually tells you how good your team is, how well you can weather the storms, your mentality, how you get through it. Because the only way through is together. You have to get through it together. If you all splinter off into individuals and small groups, cliques, that is not going to work. It's not going to work. It doesn't help. When you're rubbing each other up the wrong way, it's not going to help. Greg, I don't think that's a hot take. I think that might be a lukewarm take. Greg says Salah is washed. I don't think that's a hot take. I'm pretty sure 80% of people probably think that. Andrew is saying, is Virgil van Dijk trying to get Slot sacked? Is that why he said it? I don't think so. I think the players are frustrated. I think Szoboszlai is frustrated. He's not having a go with the fans because he thinks it's a good idea. I think he's having a go at the fans because he's frustrated, because he's angry, because they're trying and it's not working. I don't necessarily even think they've given up. I just think they're not capable, or it's not working, or it's not clicking. But no, I don't. And so when Van Dijk comes out and says that he feels that maybe towards the end the people stop trying, I don't think he's trying to get Slot sacked. I think, to be honest, he's frustrated. They tried, they didn't work. It was an embarrassing scoreline, it's an embarrassing season, they're terrible. Their title defence has been absolutely woeful. I think he's frustrated. I think they're all frustrated, and people deal with frustration differently. Some people lash out, sometimes some people go inside themselves. I think we're seeing the players that cope by sort of pushing it outward. I don't think it's that calculated. I think it's more emotion based than calculation. But that's just an opinion. I might be completely wrong. And Lucky said, La Liga showing their no mugs, even Atletico Bilbao last year. Huge says, I think it's more than washed. You can't have the greatest Premier League season ever, GA-wise, then the next season do this. It's making me look at his last season differently now. Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Let me see. What else are you guys saying? Yous are having... Oh, Street said, Wirtz is wasting his time at that club. Honestly, he's such a talent. One of my favourite players. Oh, nobody's holding back tonight. Paige says, I like Virg as a player, but he is the first to blame others. And see, that irritates me. See, when you're... And I've had this problem with Bruno previously, where he makes a mistake and then he'll turn and look for the nearest player and it's their fault. Like, there was a point at the start of this season, he threw Yarrow completely under the bus. Bruno Fernandes made a mistake. It led to a goal. After the goal goes in, he turns around to Yarrow and he's like, what you doing? Like, giving out to Yarrow. And then when he's talking about it after match, he throws Yarrow under the bus. It was Bruno's mistake. Bruno lost the possession and then he threw Yarrow under the bus. And it really annoyed me. If you make the mistake, you take the responsibility. So again, Van Dijk is a leader in the Liverpool team. If he's making mistakes, but then his first thought is to throw everyone else under the bus, that's not good for me. I don't like that type of personality. Paul is in the house. Big up to Paul joining us this evening. Welcome, welcome. Oh my goodness me. Flossie has said, official Teacup Castle announcement. We now have 526 teacups. Oh, there's so many teacups. Andrew says, so our game plan is counter-attack and hold out until Isak or Salah comes on. Or can Rio play in this? Rio and Gamoa, is he able to play? Is he registered? Is he on the bench? Let me just check that because it's right in front of me. Let me see. Liverpool. Isak, Salah, Chiesa, Gakpo. Yes, Rio was on the bench. Rio might come on ahead of any of those, to be honest with you. He's had a big impact when he's come on. But yes, that does look to be the tactics. Counter-attack, defend and try and catch them on the break. That does seem to be the plan, yes. Wi-Fi Jams is saying about the poll, no chance. No way, Jose. Andrew and Paul are hoping against hope. The rest of us are going to be miserable tonight, and they're going to do they're going to do a madness. Let me see. Streets is saying it just shows how special Klopp was. Yeah, sometimes you don't know what you got till it's gone. Sometimes you appreciate it, but it goes anyway. Let me see. Yes, Paul is saying he's not looking forward to the match tonight. And I have to say, I think the only people that are looking forward to this are the non-Liverpool fans. If I was a Liverpool fan, my heart would be in my mouth. I would just be dreading this because you know the fallout that comes after it. Harold is saying Isak is overrated. Do you know what? I'm starting to think so, but maybe it's just because I forget because he's been injured for so long. I don't know anymore. I would have to probably just watch him all over again when he gets fit and make a new opinion, because I feel like my opinion, I haven't seen him for so long, my opinion is so out of date. Bonkers is saying no, wrong. What's wrong, my dear? Tell me what's wrong. I'm going to need more words. I'm going to need some more words in the sentence than that. But yes, Liverpool and PSG are not the only two teams that are playing tonight. There is another match in the Champions League. Can I just say, and maybe this is me being mean, a lot of you guys like the Spanish football, so maybe you're going to cut me down on this one. But for me, I'm not as excited about Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, as I was about Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. It doesn't have the same zest for me. It's not quite so exciting. Now, maybe I'm going to be wrong and it's going to be a fantastic matchup. I'm just not feeling the buzz. Last night, I thought both games were like equally exciting, but like this match today, I'll definitely be more excited by PSG Liverpool, I feel, but I might be completely wrong. Lucky there is saying that he's a big fan of this tie. Yes, Bonkers, we had the starting lineup on the screen and we went through the subs. Let me just pull it back up before I go full the way into Barcelona Madrid. Let me just pull it back up for a wee second for those who maybe didn't see it the first time that I had it up. So let me see, share my screen. So as I said, for Liverpool, Mamardashvili, Kirkes, Van Dijk, Konate, Gomez, McAllister, Gravenberch, Wirtz, Szoboszlai, Frimpong and Ekitike. Just in case anyone missed it the first time, among the substitutes are Alexander Isak, Mohamed Salah, Cody Gakpo's in there, and Rio and Gamoa. So just in case anybody missed it, because I know we did it right at the very beginning. But guys, and you know what? Big up to Paul. You are correct and right, because Street says I might watch the game just to laugh. I'm sorry, this could be really dark unless Mamardashvili is out of this world, which to be fair he might be because he's not a bad keeper. But Paul says, and I love this, right? Because Paul says, I don't blame you, I do the same, we're rivals. And that's just it. It's a bit of fun, a bit of tongue-in-cheek, nothing nasty about it. It's just a bit of fun. So big up to Paul for taking it on the chin. I like that. Let me see. Yes, so Harold's agreeing with Lucky. He's more excited about the other tie. He is more looking forward to the Atletico Madrid-Barcelona match. Obviously, Lucky is as well. Guess and Straight are having a good old chinwag in there. Yes, Paul is a good sport, so big up to Paul for that, because that's what we like. A bit of fun, nothing nasty, none of the hate stuff. I'm not mad on the word hate. I might say I hate, like, I don't know, vegetables, but I think hate's a really strong word. So I think a bit of fun is all right. Behind the Dugouts is in the house. Welcome to Kai. Behind the Dugouts is now a manager in his own right, if anybody wants to watch his series. He's been having a great old time over there. A much better time than real Chelsea. So if anybody's at a loose end when we don't have all this football, do check him out. But we have looked at PSG Liverpool. I think it's going to be a case of Liverpool defending, trying to catch PSG on the break. I think PSG are going to demolish them. But let's end the poll. And you guys think, because I did ask you, what do we reckon? Yes, Liverpool have a chance. Yes, they have a small chance. Or no way, Jose. So, 41% of you have said yes for sure. 41% of you are backing Liverpool to have a proper chance in this match, which is a majority, by the way. 35% of you are saying yes, a small chance. 24% of you are with me, no way, Jose. You can never say never, never in football, but I'm pretty close here. But yeah, Paul is saying, I lose my head a little bit. Life's too short to hate on things like this. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm like proper emotional. I'm the worst loser. I'm a sour ale cow when we lose. I'm a bad loser, so I am. But it wears off quickly. Do you know what I mean? Yes, thank you for that, Mama Flossie. That is the link for Kai's channel in case anybody wants to check it out. Yes, Streets, 41% of people think absolutely yes, for sure, Liverpool have a chance. Huge says that's a crazy amount of Liverpool fans in this chat. Well, to be fair, we have Paul and we have Bonkers. Have we had Aaron? We had Andrew. We do have a few Liverpool fans in the house, and you know what? Fair play to the Liverpool fans in the house. Big up to you guys for being here, because it is just a bit of fun. It is nice, and I do enjoy it. I enjoy having both sides. Imran is in the house. Big up, Blue, in chat. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are good also, Imran. And Lucky is saying how Lamine Yamal is incredible. And I'm sure Lucky said yes. So Lucky says Marcus Rashford can partner Lewandowski. Let's get the lineups for the other match, guys, because I do appreciate, maybe I'm underselling this match. Maybe it's going to be more exciting than I'm giving it credit for. But let us get the lineups for Barcelona, Atletico Madrid. So Barcelona have Garcia, Cancelo, Martin, Kubarsi, Koundé, Pedri, Garcia, all the Garcias, Marcus Rashford, who I will be keeping an eye on, Dani Olmo, Lamine Yamal, and Robert Lewandowski, to be fair. Like, look at that front four. Rashford, Olmo, Yamal, Lewandowski. Whoa. And then you go to Atletico, who have Musso in goal. And guys, excuse me, my eyesight is really bad. I am having to lean forward to read these because the type is tiny. Ruggeri, Hanko, Normand, Molina, Lookman, Koke, Llorente, Simeone, Alvarez, and Griezmann. What age is Griezmann now? Let's have a wee look at him. 31. He's only a year older than me, you know. Well, that makes me feel old. Thanks, lads. Right, well, that's enough of that. No more looking at Antoine Griezmann's age. We don't need to look at that. That's not important, people. Who wanted to look at his age anyway? That was silly. Silly. But, yeah. What do we reckon to that one, guys? I'm kind of hoping, and it's nothing really for any reason whatsoever. I feel like Barcelona are the favourite, therefore I want Atletico Madrid to win. There's no other reason than that. Because I feel like Barcelona's the favourite, I want the other team to win. However, I do have a slight vested interest in this, because the better Barcelona do, the further they go, the more money they win, the more they can pay us for Marcus Rashford. If Marcus Rashford plays a blinder, gets a brace, gets a few goals in there, has a great performance, we just put the price up. Because they're doing this stupid thing where they're doing haggle. We don't want to pay this. Let's have him on loan again. Actually, can we only pay this much? So the better they do, the more money they make, the further they go, the more key he is for them, the better it is for Man United. And at the end of the day, that has to be my number one priority. So, what do we think of that, guys? Who's the favourite? Who's going to win? Would it be an upset, a big upset if Atletico win? What do you think? What are you guys thinking? Street says, where's De Jong? Is he still injured? Let me see, is he on the bench? Dun, dun, dun. He's not on the bench. Yeah, he's still out with an injured thigh, apparently. Rafinha's is a hamstring. And Andreas Christensen is just injured. We don't even know what's wrong with him. And Atletico are missing Oblak and Cardoso. So yes, Frankie de Jong is still injured. Thank God we didn't buy him. Behind the dugouts, Kai is saying if Liverpool can get a draw or not lose too badly today, they will have a chance. But PSG as a team are very good, but they do leave space. And that's the thing, PSG are not infallible. They're not infallible. I just think they're better than Liverpool. Is where I'm at. Streets is saying Griezmann in 2026. It is crazy. It is crazy. Yes, Griezmann has been around for ages, Kai. Let me see. Barca did just beat Atletico Madrid 2-1 over the weekend. Although sometimes the cup stuff is different, isn't it? Yes, Gas says, oh, I remember that when you started to be older than the players on the team. Those are the days. Now some of the coaches are younger than me. To be fair, I don't think that's you, Gas. I think the coaches are getting younger and younger, to be fair. Like somebody was saying, whatchamacallhim at Vincent Kompany was only 40 or something. What age is Vincent Kompany? Vincent Kompany age. Vincent Kompany's only 39. Oh, that is sickening. Vincent Kompany is only 39 and he's about to win the Champions League with Bayern Munich. Lads, I'm streaming to you from my spare room. And he is about to bring Bayern Munich to the Champions League. Absolutely mental. Paul is saying Rashford found his feet again out in Barcelona. He looks like the player he should be for United. But you know what, Paul? And I very much believe this. It's a different environment and he's surrounded by different people. You become your surroundings. I 100% believe that. You become your surroundings. Over there, he's surrounded by different people. It's a different way of life. It's a different environment. And I think he was able to let go of some of the vices that he had when he was here because he's clearly surrounded himself with better people over there. So yeah, I agree. And I don't think he ever would have come back the way he is now at Manchester United. I think the relationship between Rashford and United broke. But I don't necessarily think in his case United were actually the problem. I think it was his friends, basically. I think he had really bad friends. Streets is saying, I mean, Yamal, Pedri, Rashford on the same team. Come on. Paige is saying Atletico put Barca over their knee in the semi-finals of the Spanish Cup and slapped us 4-0. I mean, that's there. Imran is feeling anxious about this match. Paige reckons it's a cheeky 2-1 to Barcelona. Paul can't see anything but a Barcelona win. That front line is crazy good. That front line is serious. Like, that is a serious front line. It's hard not to see that. Harold is saying, I love this because you guys have all the facts. Flossie, oh my God. Flossie is saying Kompany is younger than my son. Dear. Oh dear. Is it the Bournemouth manager who's 37? Is he? It's probably Hertzler. What age is Hertzler? I bet he's young. He looks young. What age is Fabian Hertzler? Lads, Fabian Hertzler at Brighton is 33 years old. 33. There you go. Absolutely disgraceful carrying on. Lucky is saying he loves the noise in Spain and the weather, just the atmosphere 100%. But Harold with the facts. Harold said 10 men Atletico Madrid when Barca won and knocked Barca over with games in the Copa. Paige says Rashi needs a permanent move. If he is happy over there, completely agree. If he come back to United, the wheels fall off in no time. It's a win-win for all. I completely agree, Paige, 100%. I think it works for both. Huge saying Rashford is a lot more athletic compared to the rest of the league in Spain, so he looks more comfortable. That too. That is helping him too. Rob, Kompany started managing at 27. Vincent Kompany was a football manager at 27. Do you know what I was doing? Getting drunk. Okay? Whatever, Vincent Kompany. Just because you're good at your job. No need to show off. But yes, guess is correct. We need to stop checking the age of people. This will not end well. I completely agree. Thank you for saving us from ourselves, Guess. Yeah, I thought that might have been who you meant, Flossie. Just, you said young manager in the Premier League, and he was who I pictured, so I figured that was who you meant. Hugh just saying, no, that's older than me. 33 is crazy. 33 is crazy. I'm not checking any more ages, I promise. That is the last age check off the stream, because that one's made me really sad. 33. That is brutal. But you know what? I bet he doesn't have a cult. I bet he doesn't have a Mad Hatter tea party every night of the week. I bet he's not as fun as us, old Vinny and Fabian. I bet they're no fun at the parties. They're probably all work. You know, like that. That's a Rihanna song, isn't it? No, I'm absolutely not going to look at Jamal's age. Absolutely not, huge. And I'm not going to look at Max Diamond's age. I'm not going to look at any other people's ages. No more age checking for me on the stream. That is enough of that. The only numbers we are interested in now are not ages. They are score predictions. Score predictions. So what scores are we expecting on the doors? Get your score predictions in, people. I think PSG Liverpool is going to be 3-1 to PSG. And I think Atletico Madrid, Barcelona are at home. It's a very good front line, but I'm sort of just hoping. So I think maybe 2-1 Barcelona, 2-2 in the Spanish one. I think 3-1 PSG. But yeah, Rob is saying thank goodness, no more age checking. Yeah, I'm not doing that again. Yeah, from my dummy. Work. Isn't that a Rihanna song? Streets is saying no score predictions, just bring me Liverpool on a frying pan. He'll have Liverpool with some eggs, please. Guess is saying PSG 2-1, Barcelona 3-1. Paul is saying, I just hope we don't get thumped worse than we did at City. PSG won't show the same restraint. No, they will not. No, they won't. And there's some teams that get better as the competition goes on. They grow into it. Lucky reckons 3-3 for Barcelona Madrid. He thinks it's going to be a great first leg. I think that would be a great first leg. Paige thinks 3-1 to PSG, 2-1 to Barcelona. There's a lot of 3-1s, 2-1s, 3-1s, 2-1s. We're expecting goals tonight, lads. Streets is getting carried away. Streets is having the party before it's even started. Yes, thank you, Luke. It is Rihanna. I thought that. Now that song's in my head. Streets is having the best of times with those predictions. Harold is off. He's ready to watch the match. And you know what, Harold? You are correct and right, because I made the people a promise that we would not go past 7:45. So thank you, Harold, for somebody keeping a track of my timekeeping, because nobody else in here is doing it. So thank you to Harold. But he left us with his predictions, and he says 3-0 PSG, 2-1 Barcelona. So enjoy your evening, Harold. Enjoy the matches. I'm going to read the last of these predictions, and then I'm also going to wish you good football. Streets reckons 3-1 PSG. Lucky, yes, it's 3-3. Shem reckons Atletico Madrid 2-1 and PSG 3-2. Thank you. As Mama Flossie says, it has been brilliant. It has been fun. It has been fast, guys. These streams go so fast, too fast. But smash a like if you haven't done so already. Get out there. Enjoy the football. Meet me back here 12 o'clock tomorrow, okay? Have a good evening. Loads of goals. Let's hope for loads of goals.